Alright.
So, pre-purchasing things, and everyone here has expressed their opinion on the pre-purchase, except you, Boots. So maybe you would like to have the opening remarks on the pre-purchase drama debacle.
Okay, I could do like a 10-minute monologue if you guys want.
That's fine.
Yeah, just go for it. Just do it.
All right, so pre-purchasing. I I am at heart I'm a mediator. Whenever I am posed with an argument, I'm posed with something going on, I always look at all sides of the issue and try to balance them and see what's really at the core of the issue. And in this case, there's a lot of valid points out there. I mean, when I first saw the pre-purchase price, and when I first saw the first complaints about the pre-purchase price and the fact that the core game is included for new players, basically, as a veteran player, I was upset. A little bit upset. I wasn't crazy upset because I was just like, I mean, okay, but I was a little upset as a veteran player. But as I went along, as I was reading all the comments, although it's a valid criticism, it's not the be all end all of it. There's also a lot of other points. There's the probably the biggest faux pas that Guild Wars 2 did was the changing of the
FAQ.
of the FAQs. I'm sure it was an honest mistake that they didn't have any foresight basically of what they were for sure going to do when they were releasing the pre-orders. And so at first they're like, oh yeah, of course they're going to have the core game, and then they changed it. It was a bad idea, terrible idea, yeah. And it was bad. But I saw that there's a post on Reddit saying that somebody actually did get their full refund back. So that's good. It's promising. However, not everybody's going to be doing that. Like all the new players who bought the game are not. Not everybody has the time to harass ArenaNet for refunds. So anyway, but as for the new player being considered over veteran players, I would say after review and after looking over this, I would say that it's not entirely as clear-cut as that, because I would say that new players don't actually get the bum deal in all this, because on Monday they were able to buy the game for, I think it was $40 at the time, the core game, but they were also getting, like, every month or so they were getting a $10 sale. So now overnight, first of all, the core it's bumped up to $50. They can no longer buy the core game for $40, and they especially can't buy the core game for $10. So if you're a new player and you don't know when the release date is going to be of this game, you have months now of only being able to buy the core game for $50 and never being able to buy it for only $10 and try it out to see if you like it and want to buy the expansion in the end. So I think it's actually worse for new players than it is for veteran players. All in all, though, I think it's just not good for anybody. But the real thing about this whole situation is that, okay, first of all, it all boils down to whether or not you think $50 is worth it for an expansion that you don't really know much about right now. I'm going to get the expansion for sure because of the fact that we have to get the expansion if we want to. If you're a PvE player, you have to get the expansion because they're not going to update it for people who don't have the expansion. You're not going to get the living story updates. You're not going to get all that stuff. So I have to buy the expansion because I want to keep playing this game. If you're a PvP player or World versus World player, you probably don't have to buy the expansion really, unless you want the elite specializations. But yeah, as a PvE player, I'm going to have to buy the expansion, and that's the crux of the issue because about a year ago, during the summer, there was a big uproar on Reddit because there was not very much communication between ArenaNet and people. We weren't getting people thought that we weren't getting as much as we should be getting. Things were boring a little bit. The updates were a little boring. There was long pauses between things. And I think that was probably due a bit to a lot of their staff being already working on a possible expansion. But it was also before that. I think people were asking for an expansion. So when they decided they were making an expansion, it was a turning point for the game because the living world, the living story, updates every 2 weeks, cannot really easily exist with an expansion format. So when they decided to make an expansion, maybe they had always thought they were going to be making expansion, but when for sure they were making expansion, decisions have to be made. And the problem is that the decision they made was they're only going to be updating people who got the expansion. And because of that, I mean, I asked that question a long time ago in one of the other tea times, and I was like, okay, that's going to be the major issue that people are going to see. That's going to be where the uproar is going to happen when people start to realize that this is what the case is. But I guess this is another thing that caught people's attention, and the price point became an uproar issue. But I knew that as soon as they announced an expansion, I knew that eventually something like this was going to happen because they don't interact well with each other. And ArenaNet has had to make a lot of hard decisions, I'm guessing, in between their announcement and now of what they're going to do with how to manage people basically who have the expansion and don't have the expansion. So they decided that going all in for the expansion. So they're going to try to make everybody buy the expansion. And that means that new players are not going to be able to buy the core game, which is what's happening. And so this is bad for new players in general for the next few months. But to soften that blow, they said, oh, well, the core game's included in the price for new players. Unfortunately, that pisses off veteran players. So it's like a catch-22 for ArenaNet. A lot of things. I personally don't know what they could have done to make it better. Maybe a new character slot to make veteran players a little bit happier. Maybe that's something they're going to do. I don't know. They haven't talked about anything yet, so that's kind of weird. But hopefully they announce something soon. And anyway, that's sort of my point of view. I think that by announcing expansion, they didn't dig a hole, but they painted themselves into a corner that eventually something would make people very unhappy. And this just happens to be it at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a position that resonates with me. I think they have made some poor decisions that have led to it. But I mean, I think if they hadn't switched that around, people would be happy to pay $50 for it. I think. I mean, I know I would. I mean, I'd say, well, you know, it's a little bit too much, but I'd still buy it for $50. You know, I'd be being dishonest if I said I'm not going to get $50 worth of game out of Heart of Thorns. I mean, MMOs are kind of disgustingly good value when you think about it. I mean, suppose I know Brazil, you were talking about how you have a lot of AFK time, but even if you deduct all the AFK time, how many hours do you think you've played Guild Wars 2?
So I have 7,200 and something.
Holy
total.
Shit.
Yeah. AFK time, it wouldn't surprise me if I had like 4,000 plus AFK hours. Realistically. Like, I have a lot of AFK hours.
But that's still 3,000 hours of game.
And Fallout 3, I probably had close to that. I played Fallout 3 a lot. Because I was bored in high school and didn't have anything to do. So I played Fallout 3 a lot. Fallout New Vegas, probably like 500 plus hours. Same with Skyrim. I played that for a long time. So, I don't know, $60 for a game. I usually take that pretty far. Dungeon Defenders was like a $15 game, and I played that for over 1,000 hours. So, I don't know, like, I even Halo 3, like I bought Halo 3 whenever like it came out and I had an Xbox. I played that for a really long time too. Just playing by myself in the campaign or playing multiplayer or whatever. So I've always kind of taken $60 games pretty far. I'm not this new generation of, hey, I'm gonna spend $60 on Titanfall and play it for 20 minutes and never touch it again. Like I don't care about that. Like I'm not going to buy Call of Duty and just not touch it after like a day or whatever people do. That's not me. I see things that I like and I buy them and I play them for a while. Heart of Thorns, I don't really know what I'm seeing yet because all of the stuff I'm really interested in, there's no information about. There's no information about challenging group content. I have no idea what that is. Um, the only, well, realistically, the only thing that has been announced that I'm really interested in right now is Reaper, which looks cool, and I'm very on the fence, but leaning towards not really caring about the beta events because the stress tests and stuff was like everybody saw that at the PAX demo, and then that's what we got to play, and it was like, okay, whatever. Um, and then the first beta after that, I guess, I didn't get into. I didn't have a portal, and I watched other people play it, and it didn't look that exciting. Or maybe it was, I guess, I don't know if I don't remember if there have been 2 or 3 betas. Maybe there have been 3. I just remember I played in the stress test and then whatever other ones, they just didn't look that interesting. And I don't know. But at the same time, other people watching me play it has value since I'm a content creator, and that's something to consider. But I don't know. Um, then there's the argument that a couple of people have made that like you're gonna probably buy it anyways, so why not just pre-order it now? I mean, I guess that's reasonable, but I don't like the position of just giving game developers money whenever we don't know what we're going to get. I'd rather not be just in any circumstance, even if it was someone that I completely trusted. I don't want to just give them money for the unknown. Like, and then there's another interesting, I guess it's just the principle of that. I don't like just doing that. And then, like you mentioned, the communication and whatever of this, I feel like if they had just said, Heart of Thorns pre-order starting now, $50, and nothing else, that's the same price, but, like, people, I think if there was any rage, it probably just would have been $50 is too much for an expansion. And people would have...
I want a character slot, probably.
Yeah, but that's a thing. But I really think that the inclusion of the base game, that just took it so far out. Like, people were just like, fuck this, fuck ArenaNet. Ah! And so...
Thumbnail.
Yep, there we go. Got it early.
Yeah, but
Nice.
I don't know. That's $50. I guess everything related to video games is going to be $50 now. Just like, unless it's like a map pack or something that's like 25 or whatever. But just people pay a lot of money for video games now. So I don't know. It would have been nicer if it was 40. It would have been nicer if it was 40, and then the extra $10 play was either a character slot or the base game. And as for like new players not getting to test the game out, I think you can still get a refund within a certain period of time, or you can just threaten a chargeback, and that's another issue.
Yeah, but still, there's a big difference between buying it for $10 and buying it for $50.
Yeah, and if you buy it for $50 and you're outraged at whatever, like, I hate Char and I picked a Char, this is infuriating, I'm gonna threaten a chargeback and you can get your money back or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Not that everyone would want to do that, not that it's easier to just pay $10 for the game and try it out, and if you don't like it, nothing's really lost. But I don't know.
But I think
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I might I don't think I like expressed myself as good as I wanted to, but the reason why, besides the fact they're throwing new players a bone, the reason why they're including the core game into the $50 price for new players is because they don't want to set like because of the fact that they've decided the expansions where we're going now, it's what's going to be updated, nothing
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
They don't want anybody having just the core game, so they're not going to sell the core game to new players, and they're not going to give like and also like they could have said expansion $50 if that's the actual price of the expansion, and then anybody could buy the core game for $0 or $5 or something like that. But they don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to sell the core game at all.
yeah.
And so this is what they had to do. They should have probably done something more for veterans. But what does that include? Just like an extra character slot, I guess.
This makes me wonder. This makes me wonder. And you may know where I'm going already. Uh, I don't like to commit logical fallacies as much, but this may be considered a slippery slope, so just hang on. If in another like year or 2 years, whatever,
Another expansion gets released.
yeah, do we
Yeah,
get Heart of Thorns and the core game for $50?
you do.
And when that happens, if that happens, if I I think there's going to be even more rage about this,
Well, I
about
mean,
that
Well,
happening.
they have to. They
I
can't
agree.
not now. They can't not
I-
do that.
yeah,
They've
Yeah.
already set the
However,
precedent.
However, nothing about ArenaNet makes me think that they try to set precedents because they made they were doing an experiment with the living world, right? It was an
I
experiment.
don't I don't know about nothing about them. I think the entirety of their lifespan, it's been setting the precedent of we're going to do something that we think is so amazing that no one would ever possibly expect for any reason.
Yeah, but
Like,
they
and
make mistakes, and
I think
they try to correct those mistakes sometimes. Sometimes they don't.
I kind of disagree with that. I think ArenaNet are just a little bit. I don't want to say incompetent, but naive. Okay, I think
I
they
think
were,
that's fair.
it, I don't think that they were saying, "Oh, they're not being arrogant. They're not being arrogant and saying, yeah, they're gonna buy it. They're gonna love it." I think they were just they didn't realize that the way they had it worded made them seem like they were ripping off veteran players. I really don't think it was malicious. Well, I mean, malicious is a very strong word, but I don't think they were doing it on purpose. They weren't doing it out of our arrogance because we're all gonna get it. Okay, I think everyone here is probably gonna get it. I mean, Brazil, you're gonna get the game when it comes out, though. You're not gonna pre-purchase, but you're probably gonna buy Heart of Thorns when
Unless
it's
something
released.
ridiculous happens, then yeah, I'm probably gonna get it.
So even though
I'm not ruling out something ridiculous. That could very well happen.
Could happen.
yeah, but even though
Oh, you just wait and see.
Yeah, you disapprove of the. Yeah. Even though you
Yeah.
disapprove a little bit, you're probably
Sure.
gonna get it anyway. So,
That's it.
yeah,
That's a good point. Like that's probably the not probably. I don't want to speak for ArenaNet because it's bad. But in my mind, probably the marketing department of ArenaNet separates the consumers into three categories. One is the new players. One is veteran existing players, people who still like the game. And another one is people who bought the game but don't play anymore. So the new player category is the one that could be either one of the other two categories in the future. So it could be veteran, supply of good amount of money, or it could be the other one who just buys a game for $50 and puts it away. Either way, they're getting a lot of money from new players. Veteran players, at this point, like we all just agreed, we're going to buy the game probably anyway, because we're addicted to this game. We're hooked. We're hook, line, and sinker, and expansions only come out for the expansions. New Living World expansions only come out for the expansion, so we need to get the game. And then the other guys, they don't give a shit about it because they come and go as they please. Who cares? So the problem is they're able to put out these price points because we're going to buy it and then the new players are the ones that they need to reel in, so they try to make it a little bit more enticing for them. But at the same time, like I said before, it's not good for new players because they don't get to try out the game for a low price anymore. But it is in line with what they're trying to do going forward, unfortunately, that they don't want anybody with the core game anymore.
Yeah. But what do you think about if they had... Do you think that it would have all been solved if they just had different bundles, so you can still buy the core game, and then you can buy the two together at a discount price?
Partially.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't
I mean, there's a lot of different complaints, right? It's not just that veteran players feel like they're not getting something special, but there's a large group of people who are not sure it's worth $50. They want to know what challenging group content is before they make that jump. They want to know the exact number of maps.
Yeah.
They want to know more
down
specific details. There's nothing wrong with that. So that would still exist, regardless of anything. And then, of course, you have the veteran players who feel cheated because now they feel like they're double paying for the base game. So if they didn't do that, of course, that wouldn't exist. And then you have a number of players who are like, you know what? I don't care about any of that stuff. Where's my character slot? I want to play a Revenant. You didn't give me a character slot. And they feel like now they don't necessarily feel like they're owed a character slot, but they don't understand the logic of not giving them a character slot. And then now you're making us pay for it. So...
And they're all valid complaints.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, you took the other side of it and saying, look, guys, there are counter arguments to everything you just said, and those are valid counter arguments too. It's just like also it just at the same time on Tuesday or on Wednesday when it all sort of started blowing up on Reddit, I was reading Reddit, and I have a Reddit feed from Guild Wars 2, and I have a Reddit feed from the rest of Reddit. And I was just watching, like, the vitriol in the Guild Wars 2 subreddit, and then I was watching in the normal Reddit, like, it was just after a gunman just killed 9 people. And it's just like...
Not as bad.
I can't, it's just... It's so hard to, like... For me, it's so hard to get mad about this kind of thing. I could understand people who get mad about this kind of thing, but when you compare it to everything else in the world, it's just... Anyway.
I think the Guild Wars 2 subreddit is one of the ones that has a propensity to go a little bit crazy sometimes about this sort of thing. I'm not sure. I haven't experienced that much Reddit, so I'm not sure how it is on the other ones, but I've seen it's like a really, really heavy pendulum. You know, it smacks ArenaNet in the face or the other, and then comes back and hugs them the next day. You know, there seems to be very little moderates. All the moderates get downvoted. So I think, you know, only the loud, angry people get heard.
Poor Gail Gray got like negative, like twice, like negative 500 plus downvotes. And
I looked, and she had negative karma overall. On her account. Just from
like 2 posts that said the same thing, which was just like, hey, the expansion's $50 and we're bundling in the core game for free. And that's basically all her post said, right? Just to clarify, I guess, to try and clarify, I guess, kind of people didn't care. People were just so like, I don't even care what you're saying. I'm downvoting.
Yeah, go away.
You have an ArenaNet tag, downvote for you. Negative karma for the rest of your Reddit life. Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
But what do you think? You want to move on to the next topic? You want to say that the 20,000 posts of guild halls we got was a slight distraction to... What do you think it was like?
Yeah, I want to hear your conspiracy theory. Come on.
This is my conspiracy theory.
I want to hear your conspiracy theory right now.
Marketing people or PR people. Oh, shit. Looking at Reddit. Launch all the missiles! And then, yeah, just lots and lots of blog posts about awesome things afterwards.
I'm thinking, if we fill up the front page with blog posts, how will they see all the pre-order hate posts on Reddit?
Also,
the entire front page is just about guild halls.
Also, I personally felt a little bit better after seeing all the awesome stuff. But yeah,
it worked. It worked. Their fiendish plan worked. You were tricked into
Here's
it.
the thing with that. I love guild halls. I think all the information is fantastic. It's more than I actually expected from guild halls. I think that, and I'm guessing that whatever challenging group content is, I know we keep throwing that out there, and it sucks that we have to do that, but I think it would have been better if they led E3 with that rather than guild halls, just because that answers a lot of people's questions. Guild halls are amazing. I'm excited for guild halls. I know a number of people are excited for guild halls, but if they would have led with, and I guess it's easy to say now because we know what guild halls is about, but if they would have led with challenging group content over guild halls this time, that would have like stifled some of the blow as well. It wouldn't have been, you know, those people who are saying like, I don't think it's worth $50. I don't know, how could you say it's worth $50? That would have alleviated a little bit of that at least.
If we saw some challenging group content.
Or it could have made it worse if it didn't live up to expectations. So, I mean, I guess it could have been worse too, but, you know, that information is going to come out eventually, and so you might as well start getting it out there and let people know what you're talking about, because at this point, that's all they want to hear. Besides number of maps, that's all they want to hear about. They don't care about anything else you have to talk about right now. Not for everybody, not even maybe for the majority, but for a lot of people that leave comments, you know, on my videos, or you know, that I hear feedback from a lot. Like,
I'm excited about Dueling.
What is challenging group content? How come we don't know about challenging group content? If challenging group content is not X, I'm quitting. I'm done forever, and they can kiss my butt and all kinds of other nonsense. But yeah.
And then 10 seconds later, they pre-purchase the game. Just after they've said that. Yeah. You said it right there, Boots. Dueling. That's one of the things that I've never really realized how much I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, you think, wow, how come I never thought of that before? I mean, I guess we kind of have thought of it, but then you don't realize how awesome it is until they slap you around the face with it. I'm looking forward to Dueling an awful lot, especially seeing as you can do full scale, massive fights in there as well. It's awesome. So that's really, really awesome.
So it's a nice, I mean, it gives, you know how all the people who want to do GVG have to go into World versus World and find a quiet place and try to do it, organize it like that. It makes it a lot easier for them to do this. So the problem is, in guild halls, they seem to like try to cram a bunch of stuff that answers a lot of wants from the community, and it does that. But it doesn't quite do it perfectly, but I think it's still good. But what I'm worried about is that because they did it this way, we're not gonna get good GVG in the future, and we're not like an actual GVG game type, and we're not gonna get like in PvE dueling where you could like right click on somebody's portrait and say, I would like to duel you. Do you accept? I know it's good, and I think it might be good because there's a lot of people who, I mean, that's probably why they did this way, because they don't want to have that pestering, everybody pestering people in PvE with duel invites all the time, because that is a problem in some other games. But so possibly that's why they did it this way. But it does make it a little bit more difficult to like start a duel when you have to go to your guild hall, invite somebody to your guild hall, get them to come to you, and organize it that way. But at least it's in the game. That's all I gotta say.
It's the Windows 8 of dueling. You have to go through those extra screens just to do the same thing you did in 7. That's the complaint I hear about Windows 8 all the time.
Yeah, but it does make
not an invalid
GVG
complaint,
significantly more easy.
Exactly. There's no interruptions. Or no,
I mean,
no
I personally,
interruptions.
I know that it is like an extra step because, hey, I got to invite you to my arena hall and you got to build it or whatever. I do realize it's an extra step, but I prefer it over than this open world. Click on me, click, click, do me. No, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I realize they could have just added it that way, and they could have put a function in there that says ignore all requests to duel. I don't know. I prefer this way. I don't know. And you get some extra stuff this way. You can set up like obstacles or whatever. Seems pretty cool. I guess we'll see how people take to it. I'm excited to play with it. The whole feature itself.
Me too. How do you feel about the way you unlock it?
I don't see any problem.
I have a feel about that.
What is your feel?
It's challenging group
No.
content. That
Well,
really
you never know.
scares
It might
me.
be challenging. It could be.
Yeah,
They have. We don't have enough specifics on it to say
I
whether
don't
it's
think-
challenging or not.
I don't think upgrading is really meant to be.
But they.
Well,
challenging.
capturing it from the more driven.
Oh well, okay. Claiming it.
I'm
right,
yeah,
I'm
right.
so worried that we're gonna have
That
like a
better
press
not be it.
conference.
No.
Listen,
And Colin
that better-
Johansson
Oh.
says, "Well, you guys have already had a taste of challenging group
Oh,
content.
he's
Here's
not
the
gonna
Guildhall
do
trailer."
that.
And if that happens, like, I don't know. I'd be so mad at that, and I don't know.
It's not gonna happen for sure because they want to make it possible. Like the whole thing is they're trying to make it possible for small guilds and big guilds to both have this thing. They both want to be. They want to be able to give it to small guilds and big guilds, the guild halls. They're not going to make it too hard for small guilds to be able to do this. So, and they're not going to. It's obviously going to be scalable too because big guilds are going to be able to do it as well and still have some kind of difficulty with it. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to be the challenging guild content, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Well,
Wolfenir says, "I bet you can solo that
Yeah.
shit," or "I bet that shit solo." Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised.
there will definitely be players who can solo it. I don't know that everybody's going to be able to do that. That's kind of like going into some dungeons and soloing certain bosses. Lots of people can do that, right? But some won't be able to.
Or
I
you
don't
know
know
what you
that
could do?
I don't know that it should be soloable, quite honestly. But
It'd probably be difficult to solo, I'm guessing. Very, very difficult. Because I think it'll probably be balanced around more than 5 players. So you know how things scale to 5 players where it's perfectly scaled for 12 players, and if you have more, it goes up. It's probably gonna be at 10, so it's gonna be a high cap at the beginning. But I think that do you think that people are gonna be standing in Lion's Arch now and say selling a guild hall unlock solo 10 gold or something like that?
if it's
And, like,
difficult, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Of
Probably,
course, that'll
yeah.
be. They sell raw pass right now because that's a thing, right? You can solo and duel.
or
you
not
can do that.
difficult, just if it is possible to be soloed or two-manned, you'll have these groups that are able to do it for people who just want a guild hall for their one-man guild or something like that.
Yeah, I could see it.
But I mean, I think there are not that many people in Guild Wars 2 who don't have any friends. So you can just ask, hey, can you come and help me out? And then they can just ignore you for the rest of their life.
Not me.
Oh. No.
Yeah, Boots is an engineer. They don't have friends.
Especially turret engineers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, not anymore. They used to be the most popular guys around. But now their turrets are vulnerable to crits and conditions.
Yeah, everybody loved turret engineers.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Card in chat. He has lots of cowboy friends.
Yeah, he does.
The hottest
seen his-
ranch on
I've
this
seen
whole
what happens
damn
when people
planet,
follow him.
Ram Ranch.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we like overall the unlock? The way it unlocks? I like it.
I'm well.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm not excited about guild halls. Really, none of it looks interesting to me. And GVG, anytime someone mentions GVG, I just want to go spit somewhere. Like that's the reaction I have. So I'm a little bit of a negative Nancy about this, but you guys, that's fine that you all feel different.
Well, I'm thinking what I'm hoping for is that because you can make PvP teams for guilds, and it seems like it's really starting to concentrate activities around guild teams, guild groups doing stuff, and since there's no unlock anymore for these guild activities, and any guild could do it, you don't have to like grind to get them. I think that maybe challenging group content will be linked to guilds in some way. I think that maybe some challenging group content will be like a guild activity that you have to do, and you'll get bonuses for your guild hall for it. So I think that maybe you might like it, Brazil. You might have to be doing this. Yeah.
I might have to.
More than 5 players, maybe. In a challenging environment. Maybe it could be 40 players, maybe in an instance.
40 players in an instance will
No,
not
40
work.
is bad.
That doesn't People thought that was going to work in WildStar. People thought, oh, 40-man raids is going to be like old school WoW. And then people didn't realize that, first of all, no one has an attention span anymore. No one has an attention span anymore. They didn't realize that the like gamer mindset is Call of Duty, LOL, I banged your mom. And like that doesn't work with 40-man raids. None of that is compatible. And so like so Death and Taxes was really hardcore into WildStar, and I talked to some people that I was friends with, that I played Guild Wars 2 with. They went to play WildStar and Raid. And these were like good players. And one of them said, I thought I wanted to be hardcore, but when it actually got here, I realized I didn't want to do it because it involves, you know, hours and hours a day, all week long. And it's just, I don't know. If it's like an hour's worth of something to do with 15 people, like I think that'll be fine. But if it's like 6 hours of progression with 40 people, like good luck. Not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
So
like elite fractals, maybe.
So I don't. Fractals. I don't really like fractals very much. Mm-hmm. That's for a lot of reasons too. I like the regular dungeons. I think those are fun. Fractals, I think, could have been good, but there are so many reasons why they're not. So I don't know.
I think one of the reasons is because it's random. And if they do add new fractals...
That's not one of the reasons why I don't like it. I don't really care about that. Rewards are probably the biggest thing. The fact that people document everything that's wrong with them constantly and make detailed lists of problems, and they just get ignored for like a year at a time. When fractals came out, and when they first came out, and if you disconnected from the party, you couldn't get back into the fractal. Like if you had a DC or something, you couldn't get back in. That was in the game for like 6 months.
But that was for all dungeons.
No, that was just fractals. That wasn't all dungeons.
Oh no.
Only fractals. And
right.
I mean, like the rewards for a long time. Long time. You had a better chance of getting stuff like level 20 or 30 than you did at 50. And then they decided they were going to redo fractals and make them better and add leaderboards. And, you know, the leaderboards, they realized, oh, okay, people got to level 50 after a day. So I guess we won't do leaderboards anymore because we thought this was going to be hard, and just kidding, it wasn't.
But that's just the mechanics of Guild Wars, though. Because...
That's just the mechanics of ArenaNet not understanding challenging group content, and that has me worried a little bit for challenging group content.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. If you had elite fractals that actually were challenging group content, would that be more interesting?
If ArenaNet figured out how to correctly implement PvE content that was challenging and wasn't broken and didn't remain broken for months to years, then I'd be fine with that. Yeah. If it came into the game buggy, but they had a team of people that were addressing things like as soon as they happened or got found out, like that's fine. Like if they get fixed, but like I don't know, their track record with fixing bugs and rewards and stuff in dungeons, it's not very good. So I don't know.
You're worried.
I'm a little bit concerned. That's why they don't have my money right now. So,
but even if they showed you, like before the game comes out, if they give you a glimpse of what challenging group content was, and it was exactly what you wanted, would you still not buy it because you're worried that it would be buggy and they wouldn't fix things in time? Potentially.
The chance of me buying it would increase. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a scenario where I would very much like it to happen so I could make a decision then, but...
Yeah. I think everybody hopes.
We can dream. We can dream. Let's see, what should we talk about next? What part of the guild halls? We have an endless supply of things to talk about in relation to guild halls.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything we should start off on? Inks, what's your favourite part about guild halls? Go.
Jeez. I think the World v World upgrades, to be honest. I mean, I really only play. I play World v World very sparingly right now, and when seasons are on, then I really care because you're actually playing for something. Playing in off season feels like, I don't know. It's like watching preseason football. Who cares? It's a bit harsh, I guess, but I really don't care who wins unless it's seasons. Like, you're not playing for anything. You're playing for server pride, and I don't want to say I cared about server pride, but I cared about winning every week for like the first year. After 3 years, I don't care about winning every week anymore. I only care about when it's seasons and who wins seasons. But I like the changes. I mean, the whole char car thing seems cool. I mean, they all might be semi-gimmicky, but the char car seems cool. Calling down an airstrike on the castle seems interesting. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing all the different tools that you can take into World vs. World, and whether or not that actually changes that gameplay up or not. You know, I don't know. I really don't know how drastic of a change that is. It doesn't sound like it's that drastic, but with everybody having these tools at their disposal, it could be really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the question is it going to be just completely mandatory to use all these things? You know, will there be a large inherent advantage from having these? I mean, obviously there are going to be guilds on all sides, so it's kind of irrelevant. It's going to balance out, but it will be interesting to see if the matchups will be even winnable if you don't have access to all the new stuff, the new functionality that you can give to all the objectives about the map, or it's either going to go that, or it's going to be worthless and no one cares, and no one's going to do it, and then it's a waste of time. But I think that's not.
I'm sure they wouldn't make it worthless. Yeah, it'd be worth it. I think it'll encourage World versus World players to make World versus World guilds to be able to do that properly. I mean, they already are a lot, but probably that's what they're trying to do with this. And I don't know. Do you think that what did they show us anything that makes small roaming guilds or small roaming parties more useful?
Well, you could have motorcycle gangs that drive around with rock dogs.
Yeah, not necessarily directly, but like if you're flipping camps on tier 1, it's tough. Small groups generally don't exist too much. During seasons, it's a little bit different because you'll have small groups, and when I say a small group, I'm still talking like 15, 20 people. I'm not talking 5 guys. But you're still going to have 15 people or so who run off and do like the ruins on the Borderlands. Now that's kind of going away because we're getting new Borderlands, so we'll have to wait and see how that works. You know, ArenaNet said that small groups will be at an advantage because they'll be able to cover more ground when it comes to the laser thing. I know a lot of World vs. World people don't like the laser thing, or they're very hesitant about it, but so like smaller groups might be able to excel there, but I don't know.
I think in order to truly make roamers happy, they're going to need to find a way to make it more rewarding than it is currently.
Yeah. What was the suggestion I had a long time ago?
Sorry?
I think there was a suggestion. Oh yeah, World vs. World experience and stuff gets divided by the number of things that tag something. Yeah. Maybe.
It could happen. It could happen. Yeah. Maybe they watch the show and they think, wow, these guys have got some good ideas.
I don't watch the show.
No. How could you? How could you do that?
Sorry.
Yeah. You've destroyed my life. I'm gonna just cut the stream now.
So how do you think building works? Okay, so influence is gone, and I think they said there was 3 different resources.
Yeah. I mean, they've turned time into a resource. I don't know why they have done this. It doesn't make sense. What is this? Ethereum or something? Aetherium.
E3M?
Ethereum. So, it replaces the time thingy. You know, and how long it takes to make things in such a way that the largest guilds cannot get around it, and they will suffer as a result. So I don't really see the point in this, because I mean the larger guilds are going to be able to get loads of the other two anyway, so they're just going to be sitting here waiting on this anyway, and everyone's going to eventually cap out. So I don't know why they would even bother to do this.
So it all does really is, excuse me, camera went crazy. All it does is front load the time cost now. So before, you would queue things up and then you have to wait for the time. Now you wait for the time and then it's instantly done when it's done. So rather than queue it up and say, okay, well, I'll see you guys in a week when this is done and then we can enjoy our magic find or whatever. Now it's you constantly build this up with time, and then it's like, okay, magic find and whatever, all the other stuff that you can build with it.
Yeah. And the banners,
it just changes it just changes how, you know, it front loads the time rather than have it on the back end.
But I mean, do you think the way they wanted to change it, because otherwise, if they kept it with influence, all the big guilds just have
would just immediately have it.
Immediately get everything, because they already have a stupid amount of influence anyway. I mean,
probably, yeah, that's probably the way they did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's people have millions and millions and millions of influence, and seeing as you can speed things up.
Is each upgrade only going to cost Ethereum, or will it all cost everything? Cost like 3 different types of resources?
I
want to say Ethereum, but I don't remember.
Okay, because I know there was 2 other resources.
I think so.
It was like
favor and resonance.
Favor and resonance.
Yeah. Favor incentivizes guilds to complete missions. Yeah, you get yes, that's right. You get favor from guild missions, right. And they've really put a bit more focus on guild missions in this for some reason. It is your source for favor, and yeah, it seems to be implied here that you're gonna need you need everything, because it is one of the currencies you need to purchase upgrades in the guild progression system.
There you go.
And they're also
big guilds are still going to be able to probably overshadow small guilds by doing a lot of guild missions.
Well, I think that's obvious. Yeah.
I think it's a bit more equalized, though. I think on some fronts you're right, because you just have more players. You'll be able to collect more of
everything,
this stuff. But I think the Aether Blade points, whatever you want to call them, I can't even say that word. the Aether Blade points and the favor, I think, are kind of regulated, if I read it correctly, because everybody gets the same group of guild missions every week. So as long as you complete those guild missions every week, you get the same amount of favor, whether you have 400 people or 10 people. So that's kind of like a regulated resource.
And then resonance, it just, as has been pointed out in the chat, just makes everything go faster.
Right.
Oh.
Now,
okay.
Resonance might be where big guilds can kind of build ahead of a smaller guild.
Also, yeah, that's true for sure. But also, I was noticing that I read somewhere, I forget what it was, but it was saying that you require also materials to build some of the guild hall upgrades. So I'm wondering how big of a gold sink that's going to be.
Well, it seems to suggest that there's things that are more valuable than gold, so it's not just going to be gold.
Oh,
right.
Involved in it. It's going to be
gems.
More than likely. More than likely. Yeah, I think, but hopefully just for cosmetics. Although I guess gold and gems is basically the same thing anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
And all the big guilds will have plenty of people who are quite rich.
Possibly karma is worth more than gold, or favor is worth more than gold, or something. Yeah.
I think
oh my god.
What?
I just had incredible mental images of making like karma train gifs and stuff with very inappropriate content. That's unrelated, but
what?
I'm gonna have to employ card later on to make gifs.
Okay,
let's continue. Let's continue.
Yeah. Okay, where were we? What should we talk about now? That has just derailed it completely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys feel? I mean, Brazil doesn't care, but how do you guys feel about? How do you guys feel about having 2 guild halls to choose from to start?
So,
Were you expecting more? Were you expecting less?
I'd
I
be
mean,
lying.
less would be 1. Were you
Yeah.
expecting none?
I'll tell you exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting there to be less customizability, not customizability, but less aspects to guild halls than they talked about. I expected there to be less to guild halls in general, but more different types of guild halls to choose from. So since there's so much to each guild hall, I sort of understand that there's only 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be something that they expand upon later for sure. But
Next expansion.
I mean,
Yeah,
for starters,
next
2 seems okay. Next expansion, I hope long before then. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
There's probably going to be 1 guild hall in each new area we visit. Like, obviously, we've discovered all there is of the core area maps that we already have. But like, if we go to the Crystal Desert, there's probably going to be a guild hall there. Or if we go to Cantha, there's going to be a guild hall there, or 2 guild halls. Who knows?
Cantha confirmed.
Cantha confirmed.
Yeah.
Next expansion, 2016.
Will it, and $50 again? Oh, $500.
No, Cantha's only $10.
$10. Oh, because they're kind of switching it around then.
Yeah, exactly. No, like I mean, I think this is another experiment for ArenaNet. The pre-purchase price and everything they're doing is another experiment. They're trying to see what's going to happen now. Unfortunately, it's one of those probably make it or break it kind of things for the game in general. But if something bad happens and this doesn't do as well as it's supposed to, they're probably going to change it up for next time. It's not set in stone, I don't think, for the next expansion. Anyway, back to guild halls.
So, do you guys want the Golden City or the cave or the cliffs or whatever they are?
Golden City, come on. It looks awesome.
It is pretty cool.
It is very cool. It is all
That
gold
one,
and shiny.
that one looks alright.
Alright.
Brazil overstating everything since
Yeah.
2002.
Which one do you think D&T are going to pick, Brazil?
I have no idea.
Can't
I
you
don't know.
have both?
One at a time.
Well, one at a time. Yeah.
You can make one and then decide you don't like it and go to the other one.
Oh. Okay, so like, okay. Wasn't there something about certain types only having access to certain things, and you're gonna have to have access to both types of guild hall in order to get everything? No, am I wrong?
I
don't think I ever heard that.
Did I
I read that somewhere. Hold on.
find the sauce? Give us that sweet sauce.
Sauce.
It wouldn't surprise me if like one had something unique that the other one didn't, or like that the layouts were
Decorations
different.
or something. Oh, the layouts are definitely different. Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that would make you like have to decide which one you want. And I imagine there's going to be a transfer fee of some type.
the weapon skin sets are
Weapon
dependent
skins,
on
there
the
you go.
hall. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
The weapon skins were pretty cool looking.
Thanks, Gunn.
I'm pretty happy with them and the guild armor and all that. I don't know that I'm ever gonna wear guild armor with an emblem on it. I know Brazil says no way. I don't want people
Really?
knowing I'm in DNT.
No, it's just I think it looks terrible. Like the first set of guild armor looked absolutely disgusting.
Dude, yeah, that was a disaster.
Like it looks like something that your like idiot prom date would wear to make a statement. And then like the next
You
one,
had an
it's
idiot
like,
prom date?
Well, the first year. The second year I didn't go because it was too expensive and I didn't want to pay for a ticket.
What was your idiot prom date wearing exactly, Brazil? It sounds like a specific story.
guild armor.
It's a story for another day.
I am happy that though I am happy though that they are adding armor and weapon skins into the game. I mean, we knew they were going to add them in with the expansion anyway, but I'm just happy to see more of that stuff actually in the game and rather than just the gem store or something.
Yeah, at least they put the F in with the guild stuff. I mean,
And I like mini pets. I know that's a very silly thing to most people in this game, so I'm happy to see more mini pets. More crap for me to buy. That is not gems makes me happy.
Maybe it is gems though. Maybe it will be gems. They'll just switch it up.
You're a filthy liar. Don't even say that.
Oh,
Challenging prom content confirmed.
I mean, would you buy a pet rock for 350 gems? A miniature
I
pet
did.
rock? You did?
Well,
I
I didn't.
have a
I
llama.
bought it for Leals. So that's something.
I don't need plebeian pets. I have a llama. The only pet I would like, the only pet worth paying for to me is the ghost dog, and that's because of how ridiculous it is to get, and you pay
got
for
it
it with trick or
After
treat
opening like
bags.
300 bags.
Yeah. Card
Sorry,
has
Emma,
opened cards
No
in chat,
offense.
so that's why I'm mentioning it. Card has opened like 300,000 bags, I think, and he hasn't gotten one.
How many about
he's-
you?
He's
How many have
triple-
I opened?
He's triple.
Was that
me.
what you were gonna ask?
Oh no, Inks opened a ton of bags
Oh.
too.
He
Yeah, I'm
opened
at
a lot.
100K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 100K.
Five.
300K for card? Man, I feel lucky now.
At least you got lots of magic
I
finds.
don't even
on
have
there.
it yet, but yeah, fuck the ghost dog. Yeah, no doubt. I think Matt's to open 70 or 80,000. I'm at 100K now. Corin in ATT got hers at 130,000. And here's Boots. He doesn't even realize, what is this stupid thing? Who cares? I'll throw it in my bank.
I deleted it.
I was running with IT Pro the other night.
I'm kidding,
He got his
Brazil.
in,
I'm
like,
kidding.
159 bags or something. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's pretty
And-
great. I run with it all the time. It's replaced by my llama right now, but I'm gonna put it back soon, just to rub it in people's faces.
That's the reason to run it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the Karka Mini. Look what I have. Look at my 2,000 gold Mini running next to me.
You know what's good? Guild chat.
Ah, yes. So now you can harass people for not representing throughout.
They
throughout
do that
multiple
anyway.
guilds.
Whenever you want to, yeah.
Yeah, whenever you want to.
I have a thing I do well. I harass people. We have a 100% rep policy, and whenever we
No.
have someone that's new that isn't representing for whatever reason, I usually whisper them and I'll say, "Hey, thanks for joining the guild. Are you enjoying your time here?" And they'll say like, "Yeah." And I'll say, "Well, if you want to continue enjoying your time here, please make sure to adhere to our 100% rep policy."
Terrible.
That's
Terrible.
That's fantastic.
Can't believe you guys really have a 100% rep policy?
Why wouldn't we? We're the best guild on the planet.
Well,
There you
that's
go.
it. Why would you? Like, I mean, you should be secure in your own goodness to not have to
Exactly.
have 100% rep
you got
policy.
something to prove or something? Come on.
It's super insecure right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have got some issues.
You're wearing a button-up checkered shirt. What do you have to prove?
He's got nothing to prove. Oh, wow. Well, it's been nice
What have I
streaming with you
done?
guys. It's been really nice. Thanks for watching. That's when we get banned.
I have a hairy chest. I'm not going to subject it to the people.
I do
on-
too. I have a lot of stuff that's hairy, but we'll move on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was about to say something.
MightyTeapot's just so unimpressed with this for ruining his stream.
You did come at the wrong time, Jebro.
Jibro came in
did.
at the very last. Oh,
Okay,
no,
we have a serious accusation in chat. Zoltra
Okay.
Orbitant says that Death and Taxes all have small penises confirmed. Respond to
Yeah, that's true.
I think you have something to show, Brazil.
especially
Okay.
like especially the DNT members like Swiftpaw.
Swiftpaw's a girl,
Exactly.
so I don't.
It's a very
think
small.
she has
that. Yeah.
But
Anyway, that got really derailed and
Yep.
off
Wow.
topic.
What were we
Yeah.
even talking about? The derailment was incredibly severe there.
I don't know. Let's talk about what can we talk about next? The arena and
We-
building things in the arena. Did we already talked about that kind of briefly, I guess. We didn't talk about like building structure mechanics inside the arena though. And like I don't know, maybe we could not talk about that and there are other topics. I don't really remember the topics because I didn't pay too much attention.
We
'cause it didn't interest me.
can talk about the constructions in the arena if you want.
Okay.
I mean, you can add kind of an engineer simulator, right, with loads of turrets and stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
But I don't really see the point in this. I mean, it's kind of like creating a custom PvP mode, I guess, but it's not. I mean, why? Why is this necessary?
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun to do. Like, show. You could probably, it'll be like a DM running
Yeah.
fight.
That is true.
Rocks
I just
follow
want
you
to troll
die.
the other players while they're playing. I want to place
Exactly.
down
Oh,
lava
yeah.
pits and whatever right under the people I don't like, or
Imagine a PvP tournament where there's a GM who does all this stuff and has biases towards teams or against other teams. And so like you'll have like Abjured playing against some no-name team, but the GM is constantly trying to kill Abjured with all the different things they add to the game.
and they still
It'd be a lot of fun to watch.
That
yeah,
would
for
be-
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
That'll be very interesting. You know, you just suddenly spawn a massive ring of turrets around someone. They die instantly.
There's like
There you go.
one.
Zoldra's saying we need goals for a Zero Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play a Zero Ball in your guild hall now.
There you go.
That could work.
They should just add, just give people access to a scripting engine so you can just fully customize everything. Just go the whole way. So you can actually make things like a Zora Ball actually happen.
Yeah.
I don't think they should do that. That would be terrible. People would find a way to destroy the game. Guild Wars 2 would collapse in on itself. The servers would crash, and then the game would be over, never to respawn.
I'm looking forward to free-for-all mode. That'll be a cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That pretty
It
much
will be.
defines it perfectly, I think, is what it will be.
It would be cooler if it was free-for-all mode in a larger area, you know? Like I don't know, like an actual, I don't know, FPS map that you fight at.
Ooh. Imagine if you could turn it on for the whole guild hall. So
Oh
could-
my god, that would be
crazy.
so cool.
Yeah,
That would be crazy.
you could kill everyone, and it's the last
Set it to
man
PvP
standing.
mode. This random guild member is standing around crafting. You're stabbing him in the face.
Yeah,
Like you could have weekly guild free-for-all tournaments where the winner gets like a
You
bunch
become,
of...
yeah, the winner becomes the leader. It says the
Oh.
last man standing becomes the leader.
That would be a terrible idea.
It would be the best idea ever.
Kick everybody from the guild
Yeah.
for that week.
It would be amazing. And then everyone would
I
kill
want
each
to,
other.
and I want to do weekly FIFA. So they said they would probably eventually add new arena types, like bigger ones or something like that. It would be better if they do that. I think they should add like an interesting map arena rather than a circle again, or a bigger circle. Because a free for all on like an actual map where there's hallways and this and that'd be really cool.
Mm.
I want like drop away floors as well. I want that GM guy controlling things. I want him to be able to delete floor sections just out from
I
under
think he
you.
can. I think they said that they could turn floor sections into like Skyhammer type floors.
Well,
Oh,
there's,
really?
there's
Okay, I
a
had missed
ring
that part
around
then.
the arena,
There is a ring, yeah.
and there's part of the floor around it you can turn off, where if people go like too close to the edge or go over the edge, it basically makes an edge that they can just fall into space.
See, I love
Or
that.
you could, it's like bowling without the bumpers, I guess.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So,
Who bowls without the bumps?
right.
It's all the fun. You have to smash them into the sides as much as possible. Cause as much damage.
I did see like the ring. I did see the missing floor, that ring around the arena. I wasn't aware that that was something you could turn on and off though.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, is there more to talk about Guildhalls, or do you want to move on to one of two things, the traits or question period?
We haven't talked about Scribes yet.
Oh,
Oh.
shit, Scribes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
A new profession that draws things and makes banners. I mean,
Great.
yeah. I'm slightly confused about this because I guess unless you know what you're doing, it's hard to make money from professions anyway. But this one is a purely kind of selfless, altruistic profession that just
Well, and they said that as well. This is a totally selfless profession.
Yeah.
It's only for the guild,
which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We probably won't have one if that's the case. But
there you go.
But how will you get your 10% magic find or 15%?
we won't.
Oh.
We'll be without it.
D&T will be without 10% magic find.
I may just make card do it. Who knows?
Ooh.
Interesting that scribes won't be able to make any inscriptions.
Yeah, they
Right.
didn't really think that one through, did they?
Inscriptions.
Yeah. Maybe it
Is that
wasn't
what
the
they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the best name, but it's Dragon Hunter all over again. We don't like the name.
Hey, I love the name Dragon Hunter.
They can all. I don't. Yeah, the scribes can also kind of make decorations as well, which
Yeah, I mean,
makes
I
sense.
think I think it's just like a fun profession. It's not serious. You're not gonna make money at it. You're just gonna do it because you want to do it for the guild. The question becomes like, how many scribes are you gonna have in a guild? Is like, you know what I mean?
only
Apparently, you just need
scribes.
one.
You just need one, but more than
Maybe
one
it's
people's
time
gonna
gated
want
or something too. The recipes, so
is gonna want
So
to learn
you
that
need more
stuff.
than one scribe.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I don't know. Are you only going to be able to make certain decorations with scribes? I guess so.
I would
Yeah.
expect so.
Yeah.
So I guess they're necessary because I'm going to decorate like shit. Yeah.
Well, that also gives me some hope that it's not going to be pure gem store as well.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
quite
pure
happy
gem
about that.
store would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
I'd be-
there's definitely
Mhm.
going to be some gem
Oh,
store.
yeah, obviously. But I don't think it's going to be that expensive. How expensive do you think it's going to be for a guild hall decoration? 800 gems? 1,000 gems?
No, come on. I mean, does it breathe fire, talk to me, and jump up and down or something? Because it better do something fantastic for 800 gems.
Well, I mean...
It better like, I don't know. Better be a talking
Well, here's
dragon
the
head or
thing.
something.
The Heart of Thorns ones. If you pre-order the thing, I mean, because of whatever reason, you pre-order the thing and then you get the decoration.
Right.
That's only for one guild.
That's right.
Like, you dump it in there and you can't ever get it back out. So I
Oh.
wonder if they will implement a wardrobe system or something where if you buy one from the gem store, like you can just deploy it into one guild and then you still kind of keep it unlocked on your account. You can use it. Then I guess I could justify maybe I don't know. Probably not. 800 gems is a little bit of money, but I don't know.
Maybe every time
I'm
you
not
make
sure.
a new character, you get it. Like the
Even
the
then-
golem and the ring.
I don't know.
It's
Even then, that's my problem with decorations, right? Do I want to permanently attach it to Guild X? Because that kind of stinks. I don't like that. I don't like that it attaches it to the guild permanently. Why can't I use it multiple times? If
Yeah,
you're
that
making
is-
if you're making it as a scribe, whatever, that's fine. You can keep making them. But this is
Yeah.
a guild decoration. I only get one time. So
Yeah, I mean, I was also disappointed with the original Guild Wars 2 Deluxe Edition items in the end, but so it could just be that. It just you're gonna be disappointed with it, but deal with it.
yeah.
yeah.
if you can't use if these guild if they sell guild decorations on the gem store and it's a one-use thing, I literally will never buy one. I just won't. That's just me personally.
It probably
That's just
would
how I
not
feel.
be that. But how would they govern that? Like, how would you make it so that you could only would they time gate the amount of builds you could do? Because if you let them it be part of the wardrobe, you could build as many as you want. That's OP possibly, because scribes probably have to use materials and so on and so forth. So if you get it from the gem store and you can use it over and over, that's also way too good, I guess. If you talk about
It
decorations that
invalidates
way.
the scribe. That's
Exactly.
what you're saying.
So there's got to be a middle ground. Like maybe you could get a recipe from the gem store that you could use as a scribe.
Now, yeah, now that
Maybe.
I think that would be a really good way of doing it, because that means it folds into the profession, and then you
Yeah, if I
still
can
have
make it right, if I can make it multiple times, then that's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, and the gems, the recipes will still have probably a fairly significant cost attached to them, so that could justify a lower gem price tag as well. If it was a recipe, I don't know how much.
I mean, we've never seen that happen in the game so far, so it's hard to really.
I'm looking forward to scribes getting, or people getting rare scribe recipe drops from the world.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That will be cool.
Yeah, like, oh shit, I just got a chair.
A chair. I found a chair. This
Don't
mower
get
just dropped the chair.
Don't get the RP started. Why do we even have? I seen somebody on one of the streams for E3, or no, it was Friday. Sorry, it was the Friday points of interest. He was like, "Why are there even stools in the bar? You can't sit on them." I'm like, there goes your stool recipe.
Yeah.
It would be immersion breaking if there weren't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Wouldn't make any sense. Why is there a table with no chairs here?
That is the announcement. That's the announcement I'm waiting for. More interaction with objects and also more emotes.
The truth is that all Guild Wars 2 characters just have herpes and they don't want to sit down.
That's true.
A living room edition. Yeah. Chair Wars 2.
Chair Wars 2. Yeah. Does that not bother anyone else here that how many emotes there aren't in the game? I mean, look at Guild Wars 1. There's loads of emotes. And what's happening here? We have barely any emotes.
I hear that all the time. That people are like, that they want more emotes, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I don't really mind either way.
I'm not an emote person, so.
Look, I'm clearly just the biggest role player here.
I do think it's a shame for those who make machinima, like those guys who are really good at making machinima, like they're extremely limited, I guess, because not that many emotes, really.
Do we have any of those in Guild Wars 2?
Yeah, there's a couple.
There's like Deanie Kong, and I can't.
There's
really
Deanie, Sampo. I'm sure there's others I'm missing. But maybe there would be more if there were tools for that sort of thing, right?
The Black Lion Theatre Company.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, they made one video.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Skype is one of the most...
One fantastic video.
It was good. Like 11 out of 10.
We just need we need Dina to take a hold of it again. Is the problem?
He's the slave driver.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Motivator.
A Restless just made a good point. Hey, I just got Tequattle's tail dropped. Would be awesome as like a decoration, because I think they could do it because the tail is currently in, or not his, Zaitan's tail is currently in
the Priory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but Tequattle's tail was technically there as well. It's like a shard of a tail, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, that'd be great. Like, the huge replay value for things now if you get decorations dropped like that. Like, rare decorations.
Trophy for killing it or whatever.
Who cares about gear when you have decorations
Exactly.
now?
And maybe that could be tied into the challenging group content.
Yeah, that's one very obvious avenue, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe it could be I think we kind of touched on this a little bit last week. It could be in a state of flux. So, you know, the people who do this the best hold the trophy until next week, and then another guild wrestles the trophy away from them, and they have the trophy instead.
Something that LOD could talk about in map chat when they're recruiting.
I would love that. I don't see that happening, unfortunately. I think like a leaderboard of some sort would be like the best you might ever get. And even then, like leaderboards, yeah.
Why don't you see that happening? No, I mean, I think that could happen.
PvE leaderboards?
Yeah, but PvE leaderboards, but also with a guild decoration attached to it.
I think
I don't know. I just
guild
think
decorations
of like how you handle that, right? The back end that needs to happen technology-wise to switch that every week. I don't know. Maybe it's not as complicated as I think, but
decorations that drop from stuff, that seems reasonable. But leaderboards, I think their idea of the fractal leaderboard was just the first person to get to 50. They were there. They were number one forever.
Yeah.
And that seems really, really stupid.
Well, it does now. In retrospect, it does. But
well, I mean, yeah, and then people literally got to 50 hours after the patch. So it needs to be something that changes, but they don't really want to push speed clearing. Like, they don't want to do fastest times. So I mean, I don't know. I don't if they implement leaderboards, it's gonna be some like very weird, uninteresting thing to like rank. Like, I don't know. I don't even realistically know what it would be. Like, number of mobs killed in the dungeon.
Well, I was gonna say we are getting leaderboards for adventures within guilds, so that has to do with like how fast you can clear it, how many tentacles, because there's a rating system, right? So kill 10 tentacles, get to bronze. Kill 20, get to silver. So it'll be rated on tentacles. Yeah, it'll be rated on how many you get of a certain thing, as well as how quickly you can do that. That'll be the leaderboard. But that's just between guilds. It's not a world leaderboard. So.
Wait, what you guys talking about a possible leaderboard coming up, like for PvE?
Well, no, there is one. I mean, they said
yeah.
at least I think it was PAX
The leaderboard
South.
I thought they were talking about was for team guild teams
Right. Well,
in
that's
PvP.
right, but that's more recent. But when they first started talking about adventures and started introducing them, there was supposed to be, and maybe that's been scrapped. I don't know, because we haven't heard about it since then. But there was supposed to be a leaderboard within the guild to compete with other guild members to see, who could be the top of the leaderboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. If it's based on adventures, that makes sense, because adventures are all like either time-based or this based or that based. So
yeah, you can have elitism within the elitism.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. I mean,
I like it.
Isn't that just the perfect solution, though? Because that means, not everyone is exposed to the elitism. Only the elitists are exposed to the elitists. And then their elitism will intensify.
You'd be surprised at how many elitists there aren't in the groups you consider to be elitists, and how many are actually just, casual posters on the official forums. That might blow your mind.
I don't think it would.
It probably wouldn't, actually.
Yeah.
Casual posters on the official forums. Isn't that an oxymoron in some way?
I don't know.
Was that just a bell?
But I don't know. Leaderboards, I don't know that I'm opposed to them. I just don't really see how they'll implement them in a way that's going to make them cool or not abusable. Like, I mean, shout out to Tibbs Ironblood. You had like 700 leaderboard points in PvP, and you were the worst player I've ever seen. So,
wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
No elitism in here.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Was he really that bad?
His strategy was great. Play a tanky Shoutbow warrior and just capture every single point. And just run around, and that's all you do, and you just get points. So you win a game and you go up, and you lose a game and you go up. So it doesn't matter. But
100% win rate, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
You lost the ability to lose.
Yeah, it was clever.
Inks, what are you drinking?
Battery acid.
Okay, yeah, because I was just noticing when you drank it, it was like a perfect ad for whatever you're drinking. Because when you drank it and made that motion,
Sponsored by
the
Coca-Cola.
light behind
Please send
you
us
started
money.
getting saturated. So when you lifted the can up like this, it looked like there was a glow behind you, like heavenly glow. Oh, there you go.
So Inks he's not an ArenaNet shill.
I'm a Coke shill.
Coke
That's right.
shill.
Buy Coca-Cola
Do you have a referral link for
through
that?
inks.com.
Yeah. It will be delivered to your door for only $50.
That's right. That's right.
Is there a Coke
$50
expansion?
for a case of Coke, and yep.
It's
But what am I
100.
actually
I'm
getting?
a sellout. Yeah,
I knew
What's
it.
in the Coke?
What?
sugar
Yeah, just
and lots of other things not good for you.
tooth destroyer.
Tell me the
Basically.
exact. If you don't tell me the exact ingredient
Ingredients.
list, I'm gonna.
I'm not reading.
there's-
I'm not reading the
there's
exact.
Ethereum.
It's on the can. You can
There's
read it.
favor.
Ethereum.
Favor.
And
There's high
resonance.
fructose corn syrup and resonance.
They
Coke
should-
pre-purchase. That's right. You can pre-purchase
Yeah.
the Coke.
But I believe you
Oh
get
my
the
gosh.
the core Coke as a bonus if you have never used Coke before, right?
Right. Yep.
New Coke.
Yeah. No, it only comes with a glass if you've never bought some Coke before.
Oh.
Otherwise,
Oh my
it's straight from the can for the rest of you, for the plebs.
All right. Should we shout out to questions from the audience then? I
Yeah,
don't think
let's
we're gonna do
get-
fates, are we?
I believe we've
questions.
I think we've covered everything on the guild halls.
More or
Even
less.
if we have, I think we've derailed so hard it doesn't matter. So
That's a perfect podcast, in my opinion.
yeah, it's just great. I need to go to Panda Express, so let's do questions.
Right. Chat.
Brazil
I still
brought to you
have
by
bad
Panda
heart-
Express.
My heartburn is so bad still, but I've just ignored it. It's not gonna ever go away.
That's terrible.
I drank
man.
like
I know that
6
feeling.
glasses of milk, and it hasn't helped at all.
Oh, that's some
That's
So-
probably also not good for you.
I know that feeling. It's not good.
Because milk is also acidic. You know that, right? So
No, it's not, you dipshit. Have you ever heard of the pH scale? You have a degree in science.
You know, milk is lactose acid,
Yeah,
right?
so that's good.
Lactic acid.
It's good.
It's an
for you.
acid.
It gives you
It's
muscle.
acidic.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the milk has a pH below 7, so it's acidic, bro.
Yeah.
You lose.
Ah. You don't know anything.
Oh my god.
Wow. What an outburst. You just went crazy there.
Have
We're
you
gonna
never
have-
heard of the
I've
pH
been
scale?
outbursting a lot.
you bring up the pH scale and it's demonstrably incorrect. That
You guys are just wrong. There are no words.
We've got a very good question here. When will Brazil finally embrace the Condi Guardian? I believe you did last week.
No,
You can expect a video this
It's
week
happening.
from Brazil about Condi Guardian.
I'm not interested at all.
I'm
Condi
gonna
Warrior's
duel you
fun.
with a Condi Guardian, Brazil.
Yeah, I'm gonna have dual requests, and they're gonna try to burn me, and then I'll just press shake it off, and it'll be fine.
Actually, you know what?
I win.
You know what's going to be really good now? The Elementalist skill stop, drop, and roll.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
remove chill and burning on a draw roll.
I-
Everybody's gonna be burning nowadays.
That's true.
I can't take boots seriously, so I don't really know whether that's a thing or not. I feel like I'm being trolled by taking that, and
Oh,
It's
now
some kind of bad
that
deal.
is an idea, Boots. We use all the dodge skills. In
Now
a
that
full
vigor's
team.
at 50%.
Yeah. Oh, that really hurts me as an elementalist.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Evasive Arcana. I am sad as hell.
Yeah.
Though
I guess we gotta
it's
stick to
still
the
amazing.
sigils and.
It's still
yeah.
amazing though.
who is Eugene?
I actually don't know. What is this?
That's a question for me.
Hold on, there's a question before that.
Oh, we got loads. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and pre-purchases?
72.
Things you should not partake in.
50.
Hey!
I think-
Although I will say, just for the record, use Inks' link because he is a sellout. So
Oh my gosh. Actually, I don't think my link is working, so
Oh,
it
what?
doesn't matter whether you use
Oh,
my link
no.
or not.
Yeah, I don't think mine's working either.
Yeah, everyone's. Well, I don't have a link, so I don't know, but I've heard that from other parties.
wait, did none of them work? Oh, I don't feel so bad.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Everyone, you should use their links to test out and see if they work or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys,
Oh
but
my
if you've
gosh.
got $1,000 spare, just go to my link and buy 10 copies of the Ultimate Edition. And then that will test it. Only that will
Honestly,
work.
though, if you guys are going to be buying with affiliate links, go with either Teapot or Inks, because I make money from a job and I don't really need it that much. So
It's just rich.
Well, I mean, the best solution here is to go to Bogoth's video, because as the community hero that he is, he listed everyone.
He did.
So,
Yeah, Bog Otter's a nice guy. His haircut's really nice too, but that's
Does
my
have a nice
opinion.
haircut.
It's a good opinion, Brazil.
Okay, here's Brazil. How much have you looked at all the trait changes and stuff like that? Have you had
Some
a
of
look
them.
at them? Do you
I don't.
have
I
a-
think.
sorry. go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, what's the official question?
This guy who I can't remember who
Okay.
asked it. I need to make it remember who asked the question. I haven't
Okay.
added that yet. But the question is, who do you think's going to be top tier, basically?
It's gonna stay the same. I don't think
Ellie.
anything's gonna change
I
because
suppose.
everything is just getting like all of the classes are
Buffed,
getting
yeah.
like an extra 10% damage modifier or an extra cooldown on this, or it doesn't matter.
Well, they
The
nerfed
things
Ice
that
Ball.
are,
So-
meteor shower. Fan of Frost got buffed, so people will, Icepo 5 and then Icepo 3 and then just drop it like instead of
But-
5, 4, 3.
Ellie is, I mean, there's a lot less availability of the base damage buffs.
Boots is really salty.
So
about
you
Bolt
can't
to the Heart.
go 6 whatever 2 2 2 2 anymore for like staff. Is that what you mean?
I mean that, but also, I mean, there is no more 10% on closer than 60%, 600. There's no more shards. There's just less plus 10% plus 20% available to you anymore. So LE damage is, I think it's going to be reduced compared to other classes.
The keys posted a spreadsheet of it. I think staff LE DPS was still like 15,000, 15,144, something like that. If my remembering does not fail me. So I don't know if I think it was like staff LE was like 16,000 before.
That's true.
Other weapon sets, I don't know. I really don't know or play Elementalist at all. So dagger focus might be pepperonis and scepter dagger and all that stuff. Like I don't know, but the thing with Icepo getting nerfed, like FGS got nerfed and everybody realized, oh wow, Icepo is really overpowered overall after all, so we'll just use that now. And now it's just going to be, oh, Icepo is gone, so we'll just make a bigger deal out of Meteor Shower and line
Yeah,
casting
well,
it. So
It's
That was
just,
a joke. Icepo didn't actually get nerfed.
Yeah.
They said they were going to nerf
I,
it.
They got buffed,
I've
didn't they?
heard
And then
that
they
it got
buffed two of
nerfed,
the
and I've heard
skills.
that it got so
they just didn't
I don't know.
increase the numbers on a bunch of the skills.
I know that they buffed
It got better,
the
actually.
3
So
and the 2, I think.
Yeah,
the 3 and the
3 and
2. But I didn't know about 4.
it didn't get
so-
nerfed, right? That's the joke, Victor, that I make. That they need to nerf
Okay.
all classes like Icepo because it just got buffed.
Oh, that's
It's just
Okay.
yeah.
So
It's
now you're
just-
gonna 5-4-3-2 drop.
even if it
probably
does
won't
get
even
nerfed
do.
though, like I don't
But-
think it'll matter. I
Hmm.
really don't think it'll matter.
It's just the way you say Brazil. As soon as something gets reduced in power,
There-
people just fall down to the
in-
next thing anyway. So it's no big
That's
deal.
the problem with balancing in PvE is that they don't ever. This isn't just for Icepos and FGS. Like all of that stuff, I think is very strong to the point where maybe it shouldn't be so strong. But in a raw, like, okay, there are bajillions of exploits, but this is one that gets abused a lot, so let's put an invisible wall in the way. And then people find out, oh, hey, you can actually climb up a little bit higher and jump over the invisible wall. And so they just make the invisible wall a little bit higher. So you can't do that anymore. But then there are a huge library of other exploits. And it's kind of like pay 3 mana and search your library for the next exploit. And then after those all get banned, you just sideboard in more exploits. It's like, I don't know. They're unaware of a lot of stuff, and I think just unaware of how abusable a lot of mechanics are. And so people
know-
abuse them.
I know Tuesday a number of us will be testing out whether or not we can get max stacks of burning on a world boss to do 300,000 burning damage a second.
Yeah.
Oh, that is horrific.
You'll probably be able to cap it out. I know that they've said there's no possible way you'll ever be able to cap it,
Yeah.
but ISPs say that with data caps, and people hit those. So, not that those
I don't
are.
know why they would even say that. Why would they even bother to say that? Because they know there's people like Brazil who play the game. Just purely because they said that, someone's going to try and do it and make it happen now.
Yeah.
It was well, you know, whatever. It's fine. But yeah, I'm going to put 300,000 tick burning on a real player.
Pop,
Then
pop,
what?
pop.
Yeah.
No, not on a player.
Yeah, on a player.
I'm going to well, you won't be able to do it to a player.
Maybe you will though.
Not what I'm thinking anyway. But a world boss, possibly.
What if
No,
there
this is
was-
what
Squaddle.
you need to do. You need to have a warrior use or something with resistance, and then just all the guardians go, like, get every guardian into a world v world map with one warrior on the other team, or one something, and then they just get resistance from somewhere, and then whenever the resistance wears off, they have 300,000 seconds running.
die instantly.
So
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another question. Here's another thing.
Okay.
Do you guys think that Necromancer? It's kind of general. Do you think Necromancer will be better or worse in relation to everything else after the patch?
Same place.
Same place. How about if you add in Reapers into that mix?
Same place.
Still okay.
What about if you add into the fact that vulnerability now affects Condi damage as well as big damage?
Necromancer vulnerability and condition. Necromancer is not very good at condition damage. It's good at giving. It has epidemic, so it's good at turning single target conditions into multiple target conditions. So you can just load something up and spread it out. That mechanic is good, but like condition damage solos of things, Necromancer is not very strong there. Warriors can stack up bleeding and burning and all kinds of stuff faster, and it's just, I don't know. So Condi Necro I don't think is really going to be too useful. There are other classes that just do condition damage better.
Warrior.
I wonder how high Terror is going
Or
to go
Guardian.
up now, though.
I don't know.
Guardian.
Because they didn't discuss. They discussed everything else, all the other
Warrior.
Condis, exactly how they scale, but they didn't discuss Terror anymore. So I wonder, since everything else is being, if you have more than a lot more Condi damage, more than 700, it's better than it was before. Do you think that Terror is going to be? You're going to get 2,000 damage Terror ticks?
I don't know. Maybe. But even still, like, fear application, you can burst it on, but it kind of just goes off pretty quickly. And if you manage to get a decent duration of fear on someone, like, you kind of don't have fear for a while. So I don't know. I don't know. And then the chill doing damage too with Reaper, which that hasn't come into play yet. But I don't
Oh, yeah,
know.
they didn't talk about the scaling of that either.
Yeah.
But that gets bashed by, well, the chill is not as effective now because of the movement thing. So
Yeah.
'cause you
So
can
that's
just
a
spin away.
whole other problem.
I think if only we known about this before we talked about Reapers, because I think this really hurts the Reaper. Actually,
Yeah, it does. It does a lot.
because
it's-
suddenly they're not that sticky anymore.
Chilling people and having them get away and then being able to just pull them back, like that's a very good way to control someone, honestly, to the point where it may be broken, but now it doesn't even have the chance to ever get broken.
It will
Like,
never be
there's just-
broken.
Yeah. It's just Necromancer getting hit in the face again, as it always does. Which, I mean, I'm sure it'll be... I think Necromancer's fun. I like playing it. I just don't think it's ever going to be good. And I'm sure Reaper's going to be fun. I'm sure I'm going to like playing it. I don't think it's ever going to be good for anything outside of, like, low-tier competition.
Well, inside Zergs, they have a strong place, but outside of that, yeah, it's rough for being in Necro.
What do you think about what's happened to consume conditions? I mean, why would they?
That
Why?
What
Why
did they
would-
do to it?
They made it apply. They've made it into a corruption and given it a 30-second cooldown, and it applies 10 stacks of vulnerability to you when you use it. I just don't understand why.
way too much vulnerability in my
Why?
So you don't consume your own vulnerability?
Well, you consume all the conditions and then you apply it afterwards. I think is that how it works? Is that correct?
I
If
think
it
so.
applied vulnerability onto you at like the cast,
Then that'll
and
be
when
good.
it finished channeling, you got a heal from the vulnerability.
Hmm.
I could understand that. That still sucks because, like, if you're low and you heal, you just get exploded because you have vulnerability on you for like a second or whatever. I don't know, but I don't know. I guess they probably just wanted it to be a situation where not every necromancer ever uses consume condition and nothing else. But I think they just made it where no one's.
Are they
gonna
making
use
any
consume
changes to
condition.
Signet of Vampirism?
Wait,
I don't know.
quick, find the post. Find the post.
Yeah, I was just saying. I'd have to look at the notes. I have no idea off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
I hope so.
I only know PvE Ranger because that's what I play, and
Okay, here
that's
we go.
really all I've looked at so far.
Okay, healing from the active portion of the skill will now heal players while in Shroud.
Okay.
That's
I mean,
pretty
that's-
big. That's pretty big,
pretty-
I think.
Oh, wait, you said the active or the?
Yeah, the active.
Oh,
So
nobody
you-
uses the active.
Well,
Well, you can use it for aristocracy runes. You use it with aristocracy runes and signet mastery just for might generation. But other than that, like, I don't know. I don't really ever use the skill for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I just use it for 6 stacks of might.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of a sad thing.
Yeah.
A sad thing. Necromancers once again run to the corner and cry where they belong.
I'm still a little bit like obviously not on Tuesday, but I'm still looking forward to Reaper and trying out some
Yes.
builds with that.
If nothing
Well-
else, as you die horribly, you'll look like a serious badass. Yeah,
No, I like the fact that you could run like Valkyrie armor, have all that vitality from it, and still have a 100% crit chance. It'll be interesting. And it stacks chill, and you could probably make it to with chill stack vulnerability, so that'll be good.
It will be good. Okay, right. Here's a question: who is Eugene? Because I don't know the answer to this one. Can anyone? Does anyone know?
I
this?
do.
Oh, you do. Okay, go.
No, I'm not. That's Brazil's thing. He knows Eugene better than I do.
I'm trying to think of a way to put this offensively, but also not offensively. Like, there's so many, like, good jokes I can make. Eugene was an experiment I did. And if I implemented it better, it would have been successful, but I didn't really, so it wasn't. And so I don't do Eugene anymore. But yeah, that's Eugene.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know.
I have no idea what you're
That's
talking
okay.
about.
Maybe Inks
Watch
could tell
all of
us.
his videos until you figure it out. It's
A
in there.
long time ago, I did a Ranger. This was like when
Actually, it's not
Strife
even on
still
your
played.
channel, is it?
It's on Strife's channel.
Yeah.
It's not even on my channel. I don't
Okay.
think it's on my channel, but I don't even know if you guys know Strife or remember Strife at all. You may not.
think so.
But Ranger used to get a lot of shit, and this was before like I ever started really giving Ranger a chance at all. And so I made like a guide on how to play Ranger, and I did this really stupid voice. And like I made fun of the class, and I was like, Ranger's really good for gathering because we can send our bear out to take aggro from this mob that's right by the node, and now we can gather the node. And we can run from node to node and gather really well. And look, we can AFK on top of this spot, and our pet can go down and tank the mob, and we can shoot it with our longbow. And Ranger's really overpowered. And so, all the time, like, doing this stupid voice, and it was, I don't know. There were
Can't even
people
hear
that
the
thought it
voice?
was funny. No. There were people that thought it was funny. I thought it was kind of funny. And then there were people who, like, thought it was serious. and people were like, "What's wrong with this guy? This is bad."
It's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
like if you ever watch Boogie 2988 when he does Francis, and people think
Francis.
Francis is a real person, that's how he really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people took Eugene seriously.
Yeah, and I don't know. And then I did I did a couple. I did like a warrior guide about like how to use the Magic Find stat when Magic Find was still in the game. This is how long ago it was. And I made like jokes about LOSing mobs, like fearing them into corners with Fear Me, and that's how you LOS enemies. And like just like really funny, like stupid things that people took seriously. And I don't know, I hadn't quite mastered audience's perception yet and how people would perceive things. Kind of like how ArenaNet didn't master that with the Heart of Thorns pre-order. So I don't know. It was fun, but I probably won't do Eugene anymore.
Okay.
The ascended stat change
Yeah.
opinions.
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
lovely. This is delicious.
So this is one of the things that I thought was fire all the missiles distraction.
Right, yeah.
Because yeah, in the original leaked patch notes, it was saying that the ascended stat was going from 5% above exotic to 10%, and that was like, I mean, subject to
crazy.
change, but that was still there. And then people got mad about it, so this is one of the things they changed to make us more happy. Yeah, very happy about being able to change ascended stats. That's going to be good. Of course, with every good thing, there's some bad. Somebody's going to be unhappy about some aspect of it, and there was the guy who was collecting the ascended skins, and now it's going to be really easy to get ascended skins. So he spent a lot of money for nothing, but it's not for nothing.
Yeah.
He was doing his thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got his value out of his time.
I was
Now everyone knows. Now everyone knows he's done that.
I was
Now
doing the
everyone
same
knows
thing
he's
as
an
him.
idiot.
I was doing the same thing as he was, except extremely slowly, because like he had posted, it was like 6,000 gold. It was a lot of gold to complete all that stuff. But now I didn't even make it halfway through, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can get it for much cheaper.
Just think how many pet rocks he could have bought with all that gold.
That's right.
So many. Oh
So
man,
many
army
pet
of pet
rocks.
rocks, one per character. The thing is though, like obviously, are we all in agreement that it would have been bad if ascended armor went up to 10% instead of 5%?
I think it's just pretty irrelevant. The only place
I would have liked it, but
Okay.
the only place I see it hurting is in World versus World,
World versus World.
roaming,
Yeah.
maybe, because
Yeah.
suddenly 10%. That's a pretty hefty advantage.
Yeah,
Over
but it's not
someone
only
who
that
makes
though, it's
mistakes.
10% on top of the fact that gear is already becoming much more important now that it's taken off of traits.
Well, yeah,
Because
that's why
Gear
this
is being increased by 30%, so the difference between exotic and ascended is already going up.
yeah.
So if it goes up from that and then again up to 10%, that would have been bad. So it's understandable that they're not doing that.
But surely, I mean, seeing as they're switching up the gear anyway, it's the perfect time to change up stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
The only thing too is if you and I didn't have a problem with it. I have ascended anyway, so what do I care? But if you increase it another 5%, then whatever challenging group content is becomes less relevant anyway, because now you're doing more damage and
Good point.
They just add 10% more health though to the.
yeah, but then that's
creatures.
just silly as
But then
well,
that means
right?
the people
So-
who don't have exotic can't really do it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Who
It
have
just,
exotic.
means you're slower though. There's no.
No, I mean, good challenging group content doesn't mean that it takes longer if you're not good enough. It
Right.
means you die if you're not good enough, in my opinion.
But
Hit that
I
timer.
always, it always seems that it ends up as it takes longer as well. So, because there's no hard enrages in Guild Wars as I recall.
Not yet, but who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not yet.
I mean, I still don't really. Yeah, well, never mind. Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for them to create challenging group content because you can just dodge everything or reflect everything or block everything. So, by what process do you just make the encounter really frustrating and you take one hit and you fall keel over dead?
you have to implement mechanics like heavy duty mortars that break through reflex, Like when it hits your wall of reflect, it shatters it, and so you can't use it anymore.
But I mean, that's what I mean, though. Won't that just seem
Yeah.
really punishing and frustrating for?
Exactly. So
Exactly.
So that's why I don't think they'll do that, because that's
I don't
annoying.
know.
But I think it's for a different brand of people. You know, it's not
Right.
the challenging group content.
They have
is
said, they have said several times now, and Colin went and clarified this, that, you know, everything, not just challenging group content, whatever that turns out to be, but they want to increase the difficulty of everything in Heart of Thorns. And if that means you now need a friend rather than soloing everything like you've been doing, then you better find a friend, because it's just going to be harder. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that view, that viewpoint, that thought process, you know. There's a, I mean, I don't know how large the base is, but there's definitely a vocal group that wants things to be more difficult. And I don't really think that's a bad thing. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly more difficult for level 80 stuff, yeah. But oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. Just go.
Well, I was saying that it would be good for all content in Heart of Thorns to be slightly more difficult to make it more challenging for people. But I think that's still a step away from what challenging group content is. I think.
Right, yeah, it's not, and they said that, you know, this does not equal challenging group content.
Yeah.
But
Okay, here's the perfect segue question then. What happens if it turns out that challenging group content stands for open world wyvern encounters?
I mean, we already know that's not true. So
I think that was
they said that
people would be very
yeah.
angry if that was true.
I think this is a troll question, but then
Although it
again,
might be
is a troll.
slightly
Yeah, I realize
included,
that,
because
but-
another thing they said was wyverns, as you saw them in the beta, are not what they're way easier than they're going to be eventually. So
Yeah, right.
it's possible that does include challenging group content eventually.
But they've also said that they're not considered bosses. So
it's just a.
But
big
is challenging
dangerous-
group content bosses?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me if they went back on their word and said, "LOL, this is challenging group content." Fooled you. I don't know.
I don't know if it's a lot harder. I could see it being.
I don't
it.
think they're interested in difficult content for people, because I don't think they have to be. I think that the demographic is so small, and I don't know. I don't think it matters. I don't think it really matters as much, and that's also like. I don't know. There are other things. I don't think they really have a reason to change the price of Heart of Thorns, because I don't think they have to be worried about it, because I think a lot of people are pre-ordering it anyways, to the point where it just like it's business mode. It's not emotional feel. We want to do the best thing we can, and I understand that. I understand business mode, but I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I mean, I'm not so sure how much control the devs of the game have over business mode.
Yeah, and
Very
that's
little if
another
nothing, yeah.
another point. The devs
have-
may very well want to be cool bro mode, have some stuff, and NCSoft could be, hey, you guys
stop.
love your families and you want to give them food. Who cares about these stupid, mindless fans? Let's
Yeah.
just suck them dry.
Stop making that challenging group content. Make us some more gem store skins. Yeah.
challenging gem content.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe you have to do. You have to do a quick time event to even get to the buy page of the gem store items. You have to enter a really hard
It's,
capture code.
Is that what you're saying challenging content's going to be?
Yeah.
Challenging gem
I'm confirming
content.
that right here. Challenging gem content. They're gonna make the. Oh, nah. Okay. Here's another one. Yeah, we're going nowhere there. Does this one's quite salty and funny. Does the time ArenaNet devs take to discuss in the points of interest on a class portray the interest in the class? Elementalist 10 minutes. Most classes over 1 hour. Sorry for salt. Chat
The
spam.
answer is no.
Chat spam PJ Salt. Come on, do it.
The answer is no.
I don't know. Maybe My answer is maybe.
Well, right now there's not that much interesting things that happen to Ellie besides it being slightly nerfed here and there. Unless that's just me. Am I wrong in saying that what we saw in the core changes of Ellie are not that interesting?
Well, here's the thing about Elementalists. It's the most balanced class already, so they don't have to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah.
Guardians had had the same issue for a long time.
They were
right?
in a good place.
For years, we've seen for a long time we've seen Guardians get very little changes when it came to feature packs and everything else. So,
But then
it's
we
not like
realized that
anything.
Guardians really needed a Condi build, so that's what they.
Exactly.
Well, there you
Look
go.
what happened.
Yeah.
Although there's one specific change that it's probably completely. I'm wrong on this, but I really like this trait. You can now take Evasive Arcana and Elemental Contingency, and I love Elemental Contingency, which is the one where you get boons when you get struck in your attunement.
So you're gonna get a lot of boons.
Yeah, I could never justify it over Evasive Arcana because Evasive Arcana is really good. But I also really like Elemental Contingency because I like boons. Boons are my favorite thing ever, and I just couldn't take it, but now I can. I'll be so happy with my terrible.
So what are the boons you get
subpart
depending on your? Is it might for fire and?
No, you get retaliation for fire, which is why I liked it so much. Because elementalists don't get a lot of retaliation otherwise. You get protection in earth, vigor in water, and
Fury.
Fury in air. Was it Fury? I honestly
Fury
can't
or
remember.
swiftness, probably.
So 10-second cooldown, I'm guessing.
They aren't. The each attunement is on a separate cooldown. So
Yeah.
but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's 10 seconds, so it's kind of 10 seconds.
Okay, so it's like Evasive Arcana, kind of 10
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah. Cool.
So that's yeah, I know, it is pretty cool. And now you can take both, which I like. So there you go. There's something. But yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just the fact that elementalists are. There's nothing they really require. It's already the second most versatile profession after engineer. I mean, engineer can really do everything. So they don't need a helping hand as much as some of the other professions. Okay, should we do some more questions? What? I don't even know what this means. What do you think about Steve, the Reddit dragon, being also the dragon of salt?
I approve.
Well,
What Reddit dragon?
Well, I
Salt
mean,
dragon.
Is that what they called the underwater dragon?
Yeah.
Because it starts with the S, apparently.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
okay.
another one of
yeah.
those clever
yeah.
Reddit
They-
zingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's
Oh, I'm
he
not
would
up to
also
date with
be the
Reddit.
dragon of salt
Ugh.
because salt water in the ocean,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So
I
It
'Cause
fits.
it's salt
it
on
definitely
Reddit.
fits. Yeah. I
Reddit
mean,
salt.
What really
all
upset
those
me?
gentlefolk are on Reddit.
Yeah, what really upset me about the Reddit thing was, if they just stop complaining, it'll be fine. But after the points of interest stream, the top upvoted comment on a Reddit thread about, the Dolphy whatchamacallit, was people complaining about Twitch chat on Reddit.
to be fair,
It actually
Twitch
made me
chat
angry.
is terrible.
Very few things make me angry, but that actually made me angry.
Especially you
I wrote
things.
a whole tweet about it. That's how upset I was. The hypocrisy was...
You wrote a whole tweet?
Yeah, I wrote a
Whole
whole
tweet.
tweet about it. It's just...
How many characters did you use?
I think I used nearly all 140.
Holy shit.
I know. It was
He
pretty
was that
crazy.
upset.
I was actually quite salty after that. I went to my own chat and spammed PJ Salt. Just to...
To yourself.
To myself, yeah. I can tolerate Reddit complaining about things, well, yeah, it's Reddit, what do you expect? But when they're complaining about other people complaining, then... oh,
But isn't that half of what any argument is? Especially this argument that we were having. It was people complaining about people complaining, people complaining about people complaining about people complaining.
You should upvote that even more.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want a thread about Reddit complaining about Twitch complaining about Reddit. That should get the ultimate upvote.
Exactly.
Just
The
crash the Reddit
ultimate
servers.
circle jerk. We can reclaim the top upvoted post on Reddit. On Guild Wars 2 Reddit, even. Guild Wars 2 subreddit Areno. I can't believe that's our top voted post now. That makes me quite unhappy. It's people saying, "Do not pre-order the expansion." I mean, really?
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind.
But I mean, the post itself, besides like what the post means in general, like everybody talking about it in the comments, the post itself was pretty like even-headed, level-headed.
It was just quite an incendiary title, I think.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Then again, that's what the internet's for, clickbait, I suppose. He really wanted that karma. He really wants the imaginary points that give you nothing on Reddit. He wants that. Did someone give him gold? I think someone gave him gold, so I guess he got something out of it.
Someone gave the 6,000 gold on Ascended Weapons guy a Reddit gold.
He needs it.
He needs that.
I don't. Okay. So
he needs 6,000.
Educate me.
On Reddit gold?
I don't understand Reddit gold.
It's like
I see
you get
people
a
giving it away.
I can understand. I can explain this. Reddit Gold is like a premium Reddit membership. It takes away ads, and you get access to Reddit.com. Exactly, right? I know, ad block and shit.
How dare you?
It gives you access to reddit.com/r/lounge. And if you go there, there is Homestar Runner style art of like a premium club door thing. And it says a Reddit lounge for like esteemed gentlefolk. And it has a guy with like a top hat fedora. And it's like, seriously. And so the whole concept of gold is that you can like buy it for yourself, but it's so much more internet gentleman of you to give it to someone else who makes a really good post. So when you understand that,
you can't buy it by yourself though.
No, I think you can get it for yourself.
You could buy it with a separate account and then send it to yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like when you start to understand that like this is what Reddit is founded on, you just realize how stupid the whole concept of Reddit is, and it's just like, hey guys, check it out. Here's a picture of my wee-wee. Give me upvotes for it, and I'll also give pictures of your wee-wee some upvotes. And here's my wee-wee with a fedora wearing it, so give me a gold for it, please. And that's what Reddit is. Like, that's really what Reddit is.
Yay, good to know.
Like, it's...
So
I don't know,
my goal in life should clearly be to try to achieve Reddit gold.
Yeah, it's there's this, like, internet hive mind. It's... I don't know. Like I'm gonna get to a point where I start sounding like I should be in a mental institution or something, but I'll just stop. I guess it's.
To be fair though, with Reddit, once you get past that aspect of it, like if you don't actually participate in any way, shape, or form, and just look at the front page to get all your news, it's very useful, and I like it.
I don't know that I would actually get news from Reddit.
That's actually pretty good. Like, it usually you find news on Reddit faster than on any news site.
Okay, there are useful ways for Reddit, like pre-ordering Amiibos faster than other people.
There you go.
Or
right.
learning
That's plastic
about
gold, Brazil.
Yeah,
when you talk about
right.
Amiibos.
I don't know.
Amiibos are life.
Did you guys... This is something I actually want to mention, since I wanted to mention it at the start, but did you guys... I may have mentioned this before. There was a Splatoon Amiibo that was, like, exclusive. And there was only one retailer in all of Europe that was going to sell the Splatoon Amiibo. And they were all on a truck, all on the way to, like, the distribution center for the retailer that was exclusively going to have the Splatoon Amiibo.
Yep.
And the fucking truck got stolen. So all of
no
the
Amiibos for anybody.
Amiibos in Europe are now owned by like the people that stole the truck full of them. And they don't know where it is as far as I know. It's like that like Malaysia flight 370 that just went missing. Like the truck of Amiibos is gone and no one knows where it is.
It's just like
It's
that.
all gone.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, to be honest.
The same
I
amount
would be
of
selling
loss.
them on eBay for a ton of money, and I would take pictures of like the truck stocked full of those Amiibos just to troll people.
I have to
We have all
comment
your
about
Amiibos.
chat. Clearly,
So?
Brazil has never been on Reddit and only hears about it. So
Have
I
you
don't
looked
know
at
if that's
Brazil?
actually, like,
Is it genuine?
I don't know if that's someone trying to be sneaky and clever and, like, just get a rise out of me, which if you are, then congratulations. But there's so much, like, there's no Kappa emote after that.
Oh.
I wonder if, like, we have a Fedora brother in the chat
do
right
we?
now. Just defending Reddit
Wait, hang on.
and making
Where is
shots
this?
at me.
Where is he? Oh, Valak. Clarify your position, Valak. If you're still here. He may have just dropped in to troll. Is he still here?
Nah,
yeah, he is still here. He is still here.
I've even seen you on Reddit.
I've even so okay.
Okay.
It's
I
you,
don't know.
Valak. We're about to have a big fight here, otherwise.
You've done what many people can't do, and that's blur the line so significantly that no one knows what your position is. So that's a skill. That's a skill.
Okay.
Valak should get some gold to defend Reddit. Valak should get some gold. You should give him Reddit gold.
Has anyone seen any question we can close on? I've got one about the Illuminati here.
Okay.
But does anyone else have any good questions? Anyone see any? Any of you guys see a good question? Otherwise, we'll go for the default Illuminati.
I don't see any exclamation point questions. Someone asked me if Brazzers has sued me yet.
Yeah, I remember
My
that
logo.
one.
I don't think they will, because like if you go watch Caseytron or like any other big boob cam streamer, they all have the same thing. Granted, I'm not really a boob cam streamer. I'm just a fat guy.
No, we've
with
seen them. They're pretty nice.
You're missing you're missing out on potential income.
Yeah, I need an affiliate code.
For Brazzers.
That'd be great.
Well, I mean, you've got the same demographic, probably.
Yeah,
Or at least
probably
a pretty similar one, so...
Yeah.
It sounds like something they would do, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, the demographic is really the same. It's just lonely people that use ad block. So I'm taking shots at my own audience.
Ad block. Don't use ad block, guys. It's bad.
That's right.
I kind of like it.
Really?
It's useful,
Brazil is
but
mean.
I disable it for YouTube.
I don't
You're a liar. You do not.
I do.
I don't.
No, I do, I think.
Use, I don't
if I had it, I would be too lazy to ever disable it. I have to be honest.
I have
No, you could set permissions so that for certain websites it always goes through.
I know
Too
that,
lazy.
but
Yeah.
like even still, they annoy me, and I thought I would be a noble man and like do that for certain people on YouTube, and I just realized I really don't give a shit. And now I have a rooted phone that has AdAway installed on it, and I don't even see mobile ads anymore. See, check it out, AdAway. I guess my screen's backwards in Skype, but
Oh, it has your address right on it there, right there.
no, it doesn't. I had to double check because I was like, oh no, maybe I just fucked up.
Everyone knows now.
Yeah.
Okay, right. How often do you guys play Guild Wars 2 a week? I play pretty much every day because I have a problem. So...
I have other. Well, I'm busy a lot. I've been busy a lot lately, but I try to play a little bit every day just to do things. But
Yeah, pretty much every day. I streamed for like 5 hours last night, so there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I play every day, every second day mostly because I got a lot of other crap going on. If I had more time, I would play every day for sure. Yeah.
To bully me.
All right, that was a quick question. Okay, Brazil, why are you not a boob streamer yet?
I don't know. I've considered it. Tap That Mouse is someone who's a very good example of what I would consider to be a male boob cam streamer. He does a very good job. Like, his stream is really entertaining to watch. And if I had money to spam people with donations, I'd probably do that just because of how ridiculous he is. It's a matter of like not caring how ridiculous you look, and I don't really mind looking ridiculous to a degree. Like, I mean, obviously, but I don't know. It's the enthusiasm. I'm not very enthusiastic, and I can't like. I get tired of being a personality and having personality, so that's what prevents me, I guess. I'm an introvert. I don't have infinite energy to be crazy, like I guess extroverts do.
I don't know if you're really an introvert, Brazil.
You don't know if I'm really an introvert?
Yeah, I haven't seen that many introverts do any kind of YouTube or streaming.
You know that I think college professors like are mostly introverts.
Yeah.
They get up and they talk in front of people all day long, but I mean, I'm happy to sit in front of a camera and make YouTube videos, but if I go to something that's a social obligation, I get tired.
Yeah, I
and
guess
want
that's
to be-
fair. I mean, I'm like halfway between one also. I have introverted tendencies and extroverted tendencies sometimes too.
I'm a very big extrovert when I drink lots of alcohol, but I
Yeah,
think all
you and me
introverts
both.
really are. I have a story to tell about that. Oh my god! but
Tune
it's
in,
pretty
tune in
fun.
next week, guys, for the first drunk tea time.
That was
That's
actually the
happening.
first tea time for me.
Oh yeah, that's
That
true
was-
actually. Yeah, but it seemed to have no effect on you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Liver of
No,
steel.
I don't get drunk that easily. Yeah,
You heard it here first.
It's a challenge.
it's tough.
I'll show you
Stuff
some pictures after we're done streaming.
Ooh, ooh,
Skype exclusive.
wow.
Not safe for work.
Yeah,
They
not
are,
safe
they
for
are.
life. I think.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Is that it then? Are we gonna do pluggy wuggies?
Yeah, plug yourselves, guys. Wait, hang on. That sounds incredible.
That sounds oh boy.
Oh my god.
I'm MMO Winks. Pre-order the game. Pre-order Guild Wars 2 with my affiliate link and send me Madonna videos.
Oh yeah, that's cruel. That is.
I don't know
really
what that
cruel.
Madonna video was about. It was. Somebody just said you have to watch this. Some random person messaged me on YouTube, and I'm like, I clicked on it, and then as soon as I clicked on it, I'm like, why did I click on that? What am I doing?
Is that the
It could have been a
most-
virus
is
or
that the most,
anything, right?
Is that the most recent Madonna video you're talking about?
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah.
Because after
where
that,
she's just like,
it's horrific. What the hell is
it's
that?
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
I
bad.
went and looked at it after
If you
I
like
saw
Madonna-
you sent it.
I'm sorry I'm insulting your favorite musician or whatever you want to call her, but her new video is absolutely terrible. And
It really is.
yeah. And somebody sent that to me, like, you have to watch this. And I stupidly clicked on it. Why would I click on a link somebody randomly sent me? But I did.
Well, if it was a YouTube link, then it's probably okay.
It's probably safe.
It was you're right, yeah, it was a YouTube
Yeah.
link. But still, I'm like, after I did it, I'm like, what am I doing? And then I watched, like, at least half of the video. And I'm like, okay, this is enough. Why am I still listening to this?
So,
Yeah.
Brazil.
okay.
Would you
Yeah,
like
Brazil.
to-
Yeah, who are you? Come on.
I'm
We've forgotten.
Brazil. Just Google
No, I
Brazil
meant the other
Guild
Brazil.
Wars 2. The other Brazil Inks.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We could do it that way, actually. Inks,
Okay.
tell us who you are. Wait, no, Brazil.
Oh,
Tell-
right. So you can find me. Just go to YouTube and type in Brazil DNT, and you will find my channel. It's full of awesome Yu-Gi-Oh videos and some Guild Wars 2 stuff that's
A little
amazing.
bit.
And if you want to know what build to play so you're not terrible at Guild Wars 2, you should definitely tune in this upcoming week. I will have many videos sponsored by Eugene, and you will love it. And I think I'm on Twitter as well, and you can tweet me, Brazil DNT. Probably. I should probably
good.
check that Twitter link.
That's right. No, that's
Hi,
And I'm going to
MightyTeapot.
stream, but
Oh.
yeah, anyway.
Okay, yeah, let's swap it round. Swap it round. Go,
Mighty
go, go.
Teapot, you can find me at YouTube at Wooden Potatoes.
Oh no!
Um,
Disaster.
Just search Wooden Potatoes, you'll find it there. And I think that's all I do, right?
That's it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no Twitch channel, I don't think.
No, I never stream, or you never stream rather. I don't even know. This is quite confusing at this point. Yeah, and me, last of all, it's me, Bootspur. I have a name that has too many letters in it, in incorrect places, and my YouTube channel is World of Enders, which is interesting. Even though I'm the only one who contributes to it, even though there's supposed to be other people as well.
Yes, that's true.
I've seen that website. I know there's supposed to be more people. They need to step it up. Well,
They do need to step it up.
I need to make them step it up because obviously
Yeah.
I am World of Enders Bootspur.
It's
I
one of
also
those
have-
things again
Yeah.
that that like starting the channel in the first place was like, okay, we're actually doing this, and I got them to sit down and record some stuff. And now it's the website's another one of those things where it's like they have all these ideas and they want to do stuff, but they're just not doing it yet. Anyway, got to get them to sit down, put it up there.
Yeah. I also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/bootspur. It has 2 S's and 2 R's. That's how it works. And you can also find me on Twitter, but this one is @WorldOfEnders. So, you know, keeping it nice and consistent.
And you should check out his hardcore Minecraft series. It's extremely entertaining. And he's got a Q&A going on right now that I found extremely interesting.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't like ballroom dancing, and he never wanted to be a ballroom dancer. I was a little bit sad. I was a little bit sad when I found that out.
That is unfortunate.
Well, I mean, if the right person asks me to be a ballroom dancer, Inks, maybe I'd consider it. Were you thinking of?
I will
Cards
never be a
Cowboys?
ballroom dancer. I am.
What if Cards Cowboys asked you to be a ballroom dancer?
Question is, who would lead? I don't know. If he leads, it's okay.
There you go.
As I kind of okay, right, we'll initiate the shill mode. If by any chance you do decide to pre-order, pre-purchase or whatever, then why not do it through an affiliate link from one of any of your favorite YouTube or Twitch content creators?
Like Wooden Potatoes.
Like Wooden Potatoes, yeah, he has one. It's in all the descriptions of his videos. But there is also a link in the channel description here, and you can just go on an Inks video to find a link to give Inks money, and you can also find one on mine and Boots and mine, or me and Boots.
Oh my god!
No,
that sounds so
mine's
terrible.
actually aren't in my video descriptions yet.
No?
But
you have to really dig for Boots's if you want to find
you could
out.
find it. You could find it probably on Twitter somewhere. I must have said it sometime, and in Bog Otter's video. Because he put them all right there.
Go to Bog Otter's video.
Go to Bog Otter's video. It's the go-to place to allow us to sell out as best we can.
You can also find one on Dante's Patreon.
Can you? Does can you actually? Does he actually have one?
I don't think so.
But he does have a Patreon.
That is interesting. If you type in Dante, the first thing it suggests is Patreon.
Yeah.
He is back though. To be fair, so.
Yeah. Woohoo! Celebrate.
Do you not a fan of Dante?
I never really watched his stuff. I saw one or two videos.
He does a great Dante impression.
That's true.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I watch his stuff for comedic value.
He was streaming last night. There you go.
Yeah.
He is back. Get crit.
Get crit.
Ugh.
Oh wow, there's a thumbnail.
Good thumb.
There's a thumbnail. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. That will be all. We'll be back next week where we try and figure out how we're going to cover all of the balance stuff at some point. I'll see if we can force a special guest into this for every profession. So you'll be seeing Nemesis again, so we can get some actual viewers. Maybe.